Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome back to Aurora Park. I know it's been a long time since the last time we were in Aurora Park, but I've actually been streaming it a lot lately, trying to wrap up the park before the Planet Zoo beta becomes available, basically. So I've been streaming this over on my Twitch channel lately, and if you aren't following me on Twitch, you should do that. Link is down in the description. It's just 8bit_Josh at twitch.tv. But yeah, so we've been working on this middle area, which is coming along quite nicely, and we've sort of settled on a sort of a cyberpunk-ish kind of theme. It's super futuristic, it's very metal, and we'll take a look in a minute at nighttime. You'll see it's also very bright, lots of lights being used, and so I thought I would kind of just go over some of the stuff that's new since the last episode, which is quite a bit actually. So first off, we have the station building for our Pulse roller coaster, which is this guy here. And we settled on sort of like a blue and purple color scheme because that's what the coaster is. And because it's called Pulse and it has sort of an electricity theme, we added like the roof here has these electrical panels. We have like the little electricity between the posts here as well. So this building, I'm pretty happy with it. It's definitely... It's a little different looking, but I think it turned out pretty cool. And then here, so we have like, this is the queue that comes down here, which is, this ride is crazy popular. Look at that queue. And we have the little fenced in area, which I thought it would be kind of cool to have this area fenced in since it kind of goes in between both sides of the roller coaster there. And then the inside of the building is still the same, like we did this last time, so nothing in here changed, except for we may have changed the color of the walls to like a darker gray. But then, so if we come back out here, so this yellow building, this is just a little restroom block, definitely, you know, keeping with that futuristic, sort of cyberpunky vibe. We got like a little platform over here. It's not usable, you know, just purely decoration. Yeah, this a little restroom block. And then we have the Pulse sign here, sort of signage, which it's kind of weird because it's actually at the the exit of the ride instead of the entrance, but I still think it's pretty cool. Probably the biggest addition is this ride here, which is a shooting dark ride. So if you follow the game, when the Ghostbusters DLC came out, they introduced a new mechanic in the game, which is a shooting ride. There's a Ghostbusters version, but then there's also a non-themed version, which I used here. And so if you haven't seen the video for this, I made a video that kind of does like a little POV ride through. You can check that out. I'll add the link on the video that you can head over and watch that if you'd like. But I felt like, hey, you know what? This is the perfect spot. I actually designed this ride with this area in mind. So when I started designing it, I actually started in the park and I made the outline of the ride fit in this spot. And then I just proceeded to design and create the ride from the space that I used. And this is the result. It's called Tactical Emergency Response Squad. And you can see we have the entrance there, heads up on inside. And it's cool because it's like right up next to the dome here. And it actually looks it's pretty cool. Like if you're kind of in the dome, you can kind of see it off there, but so if we walk across, so kind of going again with the like trying to be sort of cyberpunk, you know, when I think of cyberpunk, not only is it very like futuristic looking, but you always see, like if you look at like Blade Runner, there's always kind of like video billboards just everywhere. And so I tried to do that, so you can see like there's 3 of them here. And then if we kind of move forward this way, so there's a lot more going on here. So there's a path that goes down kind of to the bottom area. We have this little area here with the Looney Balloons. And then we made like a little food court here. So this is kind of, if we zoom out, you can see it interacts with the coaster quite a bit, which I think is really cool. Like this whole building here, the way it just interacts with the roller coaster. I think it's pretty fun. And so, yeah, we just have we have some French fries and burgers. So, I mean, you know, if you have French fries, you gotta have burgers, and you gotta have one or the other. So why not both? And, oh yeah, I also updated this, this dome finally by adding the little exit here, because for the longest time, this little exit tunnel didn't exist, and guests were kind of just clipping through. Although not many, honestly, walk through this area. Although it looks like these people are, and they're clipping right through. Well, there you go. So we got some people going through there, which is cool. So that heads obviously back into Atropa Gardens, which is the entire domed area there. And then I like this. I like how this turned out a lot right here with like the 2 loops, and it kind of, you go underneath the building, you loop around, you come back underneath again. It's cool. I love how it interacts with the building. So then you head over to this little path here. It kind of goes to the lower section. So the hyper jump has been here for a while, but then over here we added the outside of this building. So this is a restaurant which we decided to call Omega Vector Eatery. There you go. And this name actually came from a viewer during one of the live streams. So again, it's another good reason to check out when I'm streaming live, because you get to offer real-time suggestions that I usually implement. So yeah, there you go. This is the restaurant here. Again, just trying to make it look very sci-fi. We have some custom window frames here that I made, which I also think came out pretty cool. And again, you know, we got the billboards going on here, and it's just this area is more of a facade, since the roller coaster is like right behind it. We added 2 new flat rides as well. So this hasn't been themed yet. We just placed this in the most recent live stream, at least at the time I'm recording this video. And so we're gonna do some theming around here. We also want to, you know, because the roller coaster goes right here, we had to pick a smaller ride because of the roller coaster. So we'll make some sort of fencing, maybe that comes along back here, that sort of separates the ride from the roller coaster. And then over here we have the kick flip, good old classic flat ride. This area was like a little kind of an awkward corner. Wasn't really sure what to place here, but the kick flip worked out well, and we just did some basic kind of theming around it. And I think it turned out pretty cool. We also, in this building here, which obviously isn't themed yet, but we added the restroom block just because the kick flip has a pretty high nausea rating. So I figured people come out right here, they can just go right into the restrooms if they need to. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we have added here recently in our most recent streams. If we want to take a look at it at nighttime, because it looks so good at night, it's actually my favorite way to look at it. So there you go. I love we used a lot of like blues and purples throughout this area. I think the roof of the Pulse building looks really cool. Our little restroom blocks. I love the Pulse sign at nighttime. Like, it just looks so good with all the electricity and the colors. We head around this way. You can like peek inside the dome, which looks really cool. Or if you look over here into the food court. This view right here is probably one of my new favorite views in the park, because I just think it looks so cool, like seeing everything off in the distance and the lighting. It makes, like, especially if we maybe get like this angle, so you see over here, like to Smuggler's Den over here a little bit, you see down kind of Main Street over here. It's just, I think it looks really cool at nighttime. It's just, I've always said Planet Coaster looks so good at nighttime, and so making sure that we, you know, pay a lot of attention to the lighting. It's always important to me, and I think it's paying off. It just looks so good though, right? Especially if we just like, you just do like a little panorama around it. Trying to go slow here. But yeah, so I mean, there you go. This is the, you know, kind of, we're up to date now in Aurora Park. Like I said, if you aren't following me on Twitch, you should. That way you can partake in, you know, the live streams and giving name suggestions and things like that. And also, you know, like I said, the reason I'm trying to wrap up this park, first because it's the most complete of the parks I'm working on, but also with the impending Planet Zoo beta, I don't think I can shuffle 2 Planet Coaster parks and a Planet Zoo park. So we're trying to wrap this up, and hopefully we can get it done and we'll get it up on the Steam Workshop. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this brief little kind of update video. I hope you guys are enjoying how the park has turned out. Hopefully it's a nice surprise for you, since it has been so long since the last video. But be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. Let me know if there's anything you would like to see added, and when we're streaming this, I'll try to, you know, kind of remember to add any suggestions you may have. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. So with that, I'm 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.